Motorcycle.
All right, Magenta. What was the one thing, Magenta, that you came out with?
Well, I really liked riding on those little things because I've never done that before, and I thought that was so fun. Like just like I don't know, going around the villages and like seeing like how like they live and like I don't know, being a part of their community is really fun. I got to like try something that I've never done before, and it was fun.
I liked doing our skit because I liked how this one turned out better, in my opinion. And yeah.
I liked hearing Holly's testimony thing. I would say I probably liked interacting with the high schoolers and just seeing how their high school is like totally different from our high school and how they like show way more respect to their teachers than like our school does, and how my mom was mentioning earlier how the teachers here, they actually seem like they want to be at school for the kids instead of just getting paid and stuff like that.
Excuse me? It's good. It's recording.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know which end you have to speak into. Okay. Oh, there it is. Well, you know, these American cell phones are different than the Canadians. My favorite part was seeing my beautiful sponsor child for a moment. And she was beautiful. Did I say she was beautiful? She was very beautiful. And I also like the high school with our friend Anthony, who decided to entertain and translate for us. We had a great conversation since we saved ourselves from the scooters.
So this isn't spiritual at all, but going right off what Magenta said, my favorite part was the motorcycle ride today. But I think it was because I was so like tensed up with all these emotions and nerves from like having to present that like for me getting to just ride on these motorcycles for a while and just have fun and like laughing was like the best therapy after. But yeah, that would be my favorite thing.
Now you thought you were Jack Teller in a motorcycle.
I was really overwhelmed when I was praying. We had finished our session with the high schoolers, and I was praying for the students, and I really felt a vision of two students that I needed to be praying for, and I hadn't seen them in the crowd yet. My eyes were closed. I saw a boy that had something wrong near his eye and very short hair, and it was Anthony. And I got to speak with him later, and he came up for prayer, and I had this like a vision of it. I couldn't see her face, but it was a girl with long hair, and she had something in her hair, and I was looking around the room and I couldn't figure out who it was until one of the staff came forward for prayer. And I saw her when she turned that she had something on the other side in her hair, and then when she turned and I saw her, I knew right away it was I had goosebumps, something wicked. But these two came forward for prayer, and I'm just so glad that I was able to pray for them ahead of time and that they came forward. And we had so many come forward for prayer. I was just so moved. It was beautiful. And everyone in the team was so ready to go forward and lay hands and pray, and that's what this is about.
So the highlight of my day seems like it's always this case, is watching the group's gifts be put to use by God. Jills and Holly did a phenomenal job preaching the word, and the skit was incredible. Christina did a wonderful job with the signs. Everything just seemed to work, and seeing all those kids come forward was just exciting to me. And then watching everyone lay hands on people and pray, and I mean, to me it was a true move of God, and I'm just humble and thankful for it.
Okay, I second what Ed said, but probably the highlight of my day, as it is every single year,
is when I saw my sponsor child / granddaughter, Clarissa. She was sitting in the classroom. I was looking around, and when she spotted us, her eyes lit up, and she ran to us and gave us a giant hug. So it was very special.
So there was a few highlights. One was 12 years ago, sitting in a dorm room, not knowing that God could ever use me because of the choices I'd made, and how he could salvage the mess that I'd got myself into, and him giving me a burden to go into schools and share. And then 2 years later, starting to do it, and today getting to do it in the Dominican Republic. It blew me away what God can do. But probably the biggest takeaway was seeing us as a team work together, and in the spirit of 24 hours ago or less, the New England Patriots won the Super Bowl for a sixth time. But so I've got football on the brain. But when an offensive line is together and there isn't one person greater than the other, they can move and push the entire defense, and they can do what they want to do on the field. And I was going to close out the service, but Cheryl said, no, you need to pray. You need to pray for these guys. We had, it wasn't on the agenda. We were going to do an altar call later, but she said, you need to pray. And this little girl came up to me after and said, when you were speaking and you said God had a plan for my life, in my head I said, I don't believe it, but God, if it's true, I want you to have him pray for the plan for my life. And when Cheryl said, I feel we need to pray, and I prayed for that, it became confirmation to her. And that little girl just was sobbing and telling me that she believed that God had a plan for her life.
The thing that I liked best about today was getting to see the teachers and the principal and the other people, that they're still there and they're still so full of enthusiasm. To see the school growing, the most amazing thing to me was seeing the high school and how it's growing bigger and bigger, because I was there when we walked the borders of an empty lot and prayed for the money to come in order for them to buy that lot with the dream of building a school, and now the school is there and it's still growing.
Yeah, there were a lot of pretty awesome moments today. Worship on the bus, just singing and enjoying God's presence as we drove to the school was wonderful. Watching the team, like watching people step out and speak and pray for others and interact with the kids was fantastic. So impressed by that school. Just absolutely blew my mind to see the excellence that they approach it with.
Yeah.
That they truly serve the community with excellence, and that was incredible. I think for me, I really enjoyed just hanging back and talking with some of the students and just getting to know them a little bit better and talking to them about like, what do you want to do, and just spending that little extra time with them was wonderful.
It's kind of funny that you took my first highlight of doing worship on the bus. Anytime I can have an excuse to sing with other people, I get very excited. Second highlight, definitely, I loved hearing Holly and Jill speak. And I definitely want to thank you, Jills, because I loved hearing your testimony, because I actually do work with a lot of people who are struggling with whether it's alcohol or drugs or things like that, and it's really cool to hear your testimony and how you've overcome that and seeing where God's brought you, how you are now sharing that with other people, and it's so encouraging to see that. And hopefully I can kind of use you as an example, even without your name, just to encourage other people that I work with about what good you can do. And I loved seeing how you are very good at connecting with the teens. I can tell that's definitely your calling, working with teens. They definitely connected with you. I just had to give you that props. But you both did a wonderful job speaking. The third thing was my guy driving the motorcycle was having way too much fun. Oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure he drove the fastest, and they were yelling at him so much. What I think it was Josiah's driver looked at him and was saying, like, doing the signal for crazy, like, do his loco. And I'm thinking, yeah, I know.
He tried to race you at one point.
Oh, he was trying to race everyone. Way too much fun.
It's hard to pick only like one thing today that I didn't enjoy, or that I enjoyed. I like pretty much everything that went on today. It was really awesome seeing the schools. It's something very different. I've never seen anything like that. It wasn't quite what I expected, which I like if it was surprising and new. And I really enjoyed doing the play today. I thought that was really powerful, and getting the reaction that we got was awesome. And obviously I liked riding the motorcycles. Definitely a bucket list thing to be riding on a motorcycle in the Dominican. And I'd say one other thing is getting to know this team better every day as we keep going.
No, you talk.
I liked how we met.
You gotta speak loud.
I liked how we met all the little kids and that they were having fun, and then they gave us little things.
I think the one thing that I really liked is, like what Josiah was saying, is how the team has come together is as a one unit, and the friendships that are growing with all of us. And we're not like, again, the same thing I think I said yesterday is the clique stuff. It's not there. It's everybody's working together with that same mission. And yeah, I think that's about it.
A lot of the same stuff that everybody said, but also on, I don't know, specifically, Jills was talking to Ray about being yoked up and stuff, and then I really saw it's like God's using them so powerfully together. It's amazing, and that's kind of like, it's kind of working out in that way, where, yeah, I don't know, I can't explain it, but everybody there obviously can witness to that. So it's just awesome things. So that's cool. And just getting to know Ray better and stuff, and his brother in the Lord, and the guy has so much depth to him. It's awesome. So